I'm Mary Wolfson with the TIF team. I'm here with Claudette Yarbrough from Youth Empowerment Services. Hi Claudette, how are you?
Hi Mary, I'm great.
So can you tell me in a nutshell what you're hoping to accomplish with your TIF grant?
We're hoping that our teachers and educators become more effective so that the students that they serve actually reach their fullest potential academically. That has always been our dream.
Can you tell me a little bit, you mentioned that you'd previously had a TIF grant. Can you tell me a little bit about how your current work builds upon your previous work and maybe extends it?
Absolutely, and I'm a little bit surprised that we are really pushing the envelope. I never expected it. It's been really eye-opening and great. And I think I have to say a lot about the fact that we've had a ton of technical assistance. We've had 18 technical assistance requests in every area of our grant. And so I'm pinching myself all the time that we're getting such support and we can see it trickling down to the educators and the schools. We're more effectively learning and growing so we can see the principals, the superintendents, and the teachers growing even more. Very specifically with all of the support we're getting. So we've gotten support in the area of human capital management system, and now we're on our 6th or 7th event with all these wonderful teachers from the field who are really looking at recruitment, retention, compensation in a totally different light. And we've added more partners than we just didn't know what it could be. So it's really been a nice surprise to see how we're growing in every area.
You know, you've gotten to know a lot of TIF grantees through these meetings and through grantee to grantee collaborations. And so you're somewhat familiar with their projects and what they hope to accomplish. But what do you think makes your work stand out from the others?
As far as our project is concerned, I guess what's unique and important is to change lives, right? And about once a month, we hear from some teacher who is really growing and thanking our project for that growth.
So what are some of the ways that your project is supporting those teachers? What are the things that they are recognizing and thanking you all for providing for them?
So we're like a present help in a time of need. They can pick up the phone, they can text us. We have a quick turnaround with anything that they need. I think they appreciate that.
So what are some of the objectives that you hope to achieve through your project?
We've got to get our campuses in terms of value added to grow. They are doing so much good work, and sometimes the value added data doesn't show that. And they see that, and they're disappointed in that. So growing them academically so that they can go from red to green, that's our main vision is help ensure each campus's effectiveness for the kids' sake, each school of 5. Level 5 is the highest you can get. And so we say that at all of our meetings. We say that in front of them, our campuses, when we do professional development with them, so that they can catch the vision. We want every school to be a level 5 school. We think it's possible.
So being able to offer more competitive salaries for your educators in your schools, what does that mean for your schools? Does it help you with recruitment and retention, for instance?
We are hoping. I mean, it's our first year, and one of our districts is a little disappointed that it didn't happen immediately, right? I mean, in October, we were notified, and in November, we had all the competitive base salaries fleshed out so that everyone got their bump, if you will, before Thanksgiving. And so I think maybe a little unrealistically, he thought, bam, he was going to just have everybody lined up at his door ready to want to teach for him. And it really didn't happen that quickly. But we do expect it will. I mean, morale is 1,000% more than it was before. Even though, quite frankly, a lot of these charter schools, even with the bump, and it's more competitive, we have 16 independent school districts in our city. They fight over teachers. There's a ton of teachers, but every one of these districts, Northeast, Northside, they say they're the best. So everybody want to teach for them. So they have salary wars, which makes no sense because in terms of economy of scale, pay should go down because there's a ton of people, but pay keeps going up. So we can't compete with them.
So what is one more thing, if you wanted someone to have a takeaway about that they knew about your project, what would you want that one thing to be?
So the one thing I think about our project is the emphasis on right now that every kid deserves an effective teacher. It shouldn't be by hook or crook or where you live, or as they say, your zip code. So we've gotten all of our schools now working on equity plans. You know, if a kid walked in, would he get an effective teacher on day one? If you can't say that, we got more work to do, and we're all agreeing with that.
Well, thank you very much for your time today, Claudette.
You're welcome, Mary.
I enjoyed hearing about your project.
Thank you for asking.